everyone, welcome to my channel Geek Petite. I'm Lucy. Thank you for joining me today. It's a lovely sunny day up here in the northeast and I have been having a little bit of chocolate. I'm not a massive chocolate fan actually, or a massive fan of sweet things. I prefer savoury stuff, but when I do have some, yes, it's fruit and nut. That's my favourite. The packet's actually empty though. Okay, so today what I wanted to talk to you about is I just thought I would share how I care for my dressmaking fabrics. So that's kind of pre-sewing, and then once they're actually made up into a garment. I've got some fabrics sort of at different stages. So I've got some here on the table that has been washed and some that needs washing. So I thought I would start by talking you through those. And yeah, there's no kind of right or wrong way. It's just I thought I'd share the way I do it, and then you know, hopefully there'll be something useful and helpful for you to take away from it. So today I'm just wearing a ready-to-wear blouse from Next. So okay, let's start by talking about washing the fabrics. So as part of my business, I've been making a lot of masks. Obviously during COVID, they've been in you know, in a lot of demand. So, and what I've made them out of is just a lovely quality jersey from First for Fabrics. So what I've tended to do with those is, if I get, you know, I'll obviously order you know, some different ones, you know, together, and then when they arrive, I put them all into the wash. Now I just wash those on a 40 degrees, just a standard 40-degree cycle, and then what I do is I just put them on a low tumble, and then they're absolutely perfect. They don't need you know, ironing or anything. It's just a case of kind of smoothing them out. And then that also means that in terms of the aftercare, those once they're made up into masks, they can be washed in exactly the same way. So just under 40 degrees and then a low tumble, or they can be dried on a radiator or just air dried. So that's what I'll do with any jersey stuff I get, or I'll do the same if I've got some similar, you know, fabrics of a similar type. So for instance, if I've got if I've ordered some jersey and I've also ordered some sweatshirting or some French terry, they can all go in together as well. So that's how I do those. Now, if you you may have seen my video about my plans to make a coat, and I haven't made a coat before or used sort of coating fabric. So yes, if you've seen that, you might remember this is the fabric that I got for the coat. I'm just going to try and drape it over me. So and I got this from Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door, and it was really helpful actually, because Andrea had recently made a coat for her daughter using this same coating. So I just asked her for some advice on what she had that would work for the Willow coat, which is what I'm going to be making. And I asked her about washing it, because I know that I've read stuff that kind of says coating, you know, doesn't usually need to be washed. You can just give it a little bit of steam. But yes, Andrea said she had washed her, you know, the same fabric, just in a different colour at 30 degrees. So that's what I did with this, and it's quite a big piece. So I just put it in the machine, you know, on its own. And what I did was, and this is really important with any piece of fabric, but especially with the larger pieces, you know, I kind of, you know, undid it all, and was obviously folded up nicely when it was delivered, but I kind of unraveled it and gave it a really good shake before I put it into the washing machine. Yeah, so this one came out absolutely lovely on the 30 degrees, and then the way that I dried it was I've got a kind of a stand-up clothes dryer with sort of arms that, you know, that come out to the sides. And what I did was I kind of folded it in half, and then I attached it at various bits, at various parts, with those kind of trouser hangers that you get. So they've just sort of got a clip at either side. So I needed about 3 of those, and then it just kind of, I hung it from the arms so it kind of was in a circle, and it actually dried really, really quickly. So yeah, and it came out, it was super smooth. I probably won't iron it as a large piece. What I'll do is I'll cut my coat pieces out, and then I'll give each of them maybe a little iron or a bit of steam then before I actually start to construct the coat. So that's how I prepared and would look after that coating. Okay, so I've got some other fabrics to show you that I haven't washed yet. So actually one of them, I'll hold this up again so you can see, because I was talking in the video about my coat that I wasn't sure what to line it with, and I spent a lot of time looking around online for, you know, for various linings that would go with it, and it was really, really difficult to decide. But in the end, I was on Minerva, and they have loads and loads of choice. And I've gone for this lovely rose. It's just a plain polyester lining, but I think that's actually going to work really, really nicely. So that's one that I need to wash. And I've got 2 fabrics here. They're actually quite similar. I hadn't realised how similar they were. This is obviously something I'm really liking at the minute. But the first one is this lovely, oh so soft, lovely viscose kind of zebra print, and this one is also from Andrea Beyond the Pink Door. So I think this is going to end up being a nice dress. But yes, so that's a nice soft viscose. And then I've also just very, very recently had this delivery from Sarah at Like So Amazing, and it's a very, very similar print, a little bit of a different coloured green, and this one is a cotton jersey. So what I'm going to do with those is I'll just put those all in together. So there'll be the jersey and the viscose and the lining, and I think I'll probably wash those on a delicate wash at 40 degrees. Now that's just because the jersey would be fine just on a 40, but I think with the viscose and the lining, they're just that little bit more delicate. And one of the reasons that I would choose a delicate cycle is just because it doesn't kind of it's just a softer wash. And what I actually do is I tend to wash once my clothes are made up, once I've actually, you know, made my garments. What I tend to do is I keep all of my washing separate from the rest of the family, and what I'll do is I'll put the vast majority of the time I just put all of my homemade garments on the delicate cycle, and it's, you know, it's just because if I waited until I had, you know, a whole wash load of jerseys, that might take a while. So obviously the jersey's not going to get damaged in any way, being on a more gentle cycle, so that can go in with the other stuff. So yeah, so I just wash everything on a delicates, and then I hang them on the air dryer that I mentioned earlier. I just put them onto hangers and let them dry naturally. Now, just a little tip, if you're not sure what sort of washing cycle you should put a certain fabric on, a good idea is to kind of, I mean, you'll usually know, you know, the composition. So if you look for something that you've bought, say in the shops, that's of a similar composition, just look at look at your care label on that garment, and that should help you. And if you kind of follow that that instruction for washing, then you can't go far wrong. So that's just another way, if you're not really sure or you're a little bit nervous about what cycle to put the fabric onto to pre-wash it. Just another thing to mention as well is that I just use I actually use small washing tablets. So I use them because they get delivered through the door. It's fantastic. But it's just biological washing powder in a little tablet. And I don't, you know, that's just what I've always used. You know, I've got children, their clothes get dirty, and I need biological washing liquid or powder, and so that's what I've always used. And you know, I can't see how it would make any difference using non-biological, but obviously that is absolutely your choice, and you can look into, you know, which one you think would be best for your fabrics. So I think that's it. I just wanted to share, you know, how I do that, how I look after. I am particularly careful with my handmade clothes. I mean, you know, they might not, you know, necessarily need to be you know, treated so gently with washing and drying, but I just prefer to do that because then I know there's very low risk of, you know, damaging them or stretching them out or anything like that. So yeah, so that's just the way I do things. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me about how you look after your dressmaking fabrics, and, you know, have you got any tips to share? That would be absolutely brilliant. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and like I say, I hope you could take something away from this, and I'll be back with another video really soon. Bye.